Today is a little bit different. I'm shamanically connecting with a probably about 30-year-old Appaloosa Morgan mare named Cassy for a woman named Laurie, who hasn't seen her since she went to college and her mom sold her. So Cassy was sold to a nice family in the area who kept her for a long, long time. And then a few years ago, they couldn't keep her any longer, and she was transferred to a farm in northern New York State. Well, recently, Cassy has been showing up in Laurie's dreams, and Laurie's wondering why. And she wonders if she's okay, and if she could find her, maybe she could go and bring her home. So I connect shamanically with Cassy to find out what I can. And of course, we find out some pretty amazing things, including the fact that Cassy doesn't need help at all. She's showing up for Laurie. So let's hear from Cassy. Hi Laurie, it's Christine. Nice to meet you. Thank you for asking me to do this. I was pretty excited to do this because I love to do work more in the spirit than telepathically. I wanted to tell you why I chose to do it this way. It's because she is not officially your horse. She is owned by someone else. All right, and so telepathically talking to her gets a little edgy on the ethical side, but asking her spirit for permission to talk, it's her spirit's, her spirit, she has free will over her own spirit. So we go in the spirit world and we talk to her that way. The other thing is, if she has passed, this is the way to do it anyway. So we'll see why she's coming to you and see what she has to say about that. So let me just show you what what's at the beginning of the video is what I'm looking at here. This is Cassy. And I have cleansed the space. I have called in my guides and lit a candle to represent their presence. I do this before every session for anyone, including myself. And then I connect with Cassy just on a energetic level, and I light a candle for her and invite her spirit, soul, higher self. Animals have a higher self as well as the soul part that's consciously in their bodies, to come and be part of this communication. So on this level, I'm inviting her higher self in and then asking her if she will communicate with me. And then I set an intention, because just like going to the grocery store without a list, you don't know what you're going to get, right? So that's what I do. So I intended to journey to the other world with my power animal Thunderbird and any other guide that will accompany me to meet the spirit of Cassy and find out why she is visiting Laurie. I will ask why, if she is okay, where she is, what message does she have to share with you, and anything else she wants you to know. All right. So now, sometimes a shamanic work is metaphorical, and sometimes it's very literal. So we'll see what comes. We're just going to see what comes. All right. I'll be back with you in a fraction of a second. Okay. So when I first connected with Cassy, in my mind's eye, I transition into that space, and then I just wait and look to be shown what I need to see. So the first thing I see is sort of a small stall and maybe an old barn. I'm just seeing legs, and on a dirt floor it seems dark, and pawing at the ground. I see that very briefly, and then I'm out of that space, and then I'm way above one of those big open fields, like they have in northern New York. I can picture with there's a huge, I don't know if it looked like an ash, big ash, and the field was all mowed as if it had been hayed and the hay had gone, and it was off in a corner, and I briefly see an excavator under the tree, and then it's gone, and I know that this is where Cassy has been buried. So, and then I am above again, still way above, and I see a horse standing down there, like right under the tree. So I feel very strongly that this is her spirit, and she's showing up. And I, because I asked to meet her spirit, and animals almost always show up in their healthy form. And she's standing under the tree, and I'm slowly coming down to where she is, very slowly. Nothing happens quickly in this space. And the first thing when I finally stand in front of her is her head and neck are draped over me, and I'm leaning into her, and she's like hugging me, and I'm feeling this intense sadness in my throat, my chest, my stomach, just intense sadness. And I don't know whose it is or why it is, and so, but I hear, just stay in it. Stay in it. So I'm staying in it, and I'm upset. I'm tearing up. I'm literally feeling so much sadness. And I hear, just wait with it. Just wait with it. And I ask her, is this your sadness? Because I'm trying to understand, is she sad about her life, the way it was? And slowly she's showing me that her life was good. The last few years were a little harder. I feel like that stall place was a barn, was quite small and dark. I feel like she was put down very quickly, but not because she was sick, but because there may have been some problems keeping her or whatever. She has no problem with that. She's not upset about that at all. Not at all. But she's just showing me that so that you'll understand. I feel like she was put down by the owners real quick and then buried under that tree. And so that's where she's showing me that she is. So she's in a beautiful spot. But she's also showing me that her soul is not there. That's just where she's appearing so that you and I know that's where she's laid. And then I'm still in that space, and the sadness is starting to abate, but she's not moving, and she's kind of holding me. Big head. And I just say to her, Cassy, why are you coming to Laurie in the night? And the sadness has so much to do with it. And she says, because you need her, because there's so much sadness and almost grief. And I feel like it's not even yours. I don't know how to explain it. It's not your grief. I feel like your life is probably pretty good, but it's grief that you're holding in you. And she says, I'm here to help you with this sadness, and I come so that I can be with you, and you can talk to me. You can talk to me about anything. And she says, when I show up in the night, in your mind's eye, just see me as you do, and then talk to me. And whatever comes back into your mind, let's talk. Let's tell me about all the things you can't talk to other people about. And I'll talk with you about that, and we can discuss it, and we can talk about your feelings about it. I'm not sure why you can't talk to other people about these things, but she's saying, I'm here for you, and I'm here to help you release the sadness, and let's walk and talk. And I see you riding her. She's like, if you want to ride, let's ride, and this is all in your mind's eye when she visits. And if you want to walk, and I see you kind of walking through like a pasture with like a single track with flowers, with your hand on her neck. Let's just walk and talk. Or I see her on a beach, like, you want to run on the beach? Let's go do that and talk. And she's like, I'm here for you. I'm coming to you because I'm here for you, not because I need you, but because you need me. And that's we have this connection. And she says, we've always had this connection. You've grown so much in your life, and now you really need me. I don't feel, Laurie, like this is why she passed. I feel like she could have come to you this way before, and I also feel like she has been in your consciousness over these years. Well, obviously you haven't forgotten her, right? But and I feel like she passed, I'm just going to say, I feel like it was about a year ago. So she's been gone for a little while. But she's very, very, she's not upset. She's not sad for you. She's just saying, I'm here. I am here, and we can communicate, and you need me to help you release this deep sadness that you're holding in your body. I could really feel it in my body. Okay. So before I started this journey, I have this Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. And usually I ask for a card that represents the energy of the animal, the energy of Sassy Cassy. But as I started to do that, I had already connected, you know that. I started to ask for the energy around Cassy, and she's like, that's not the right question. That's not the right question. I'm like, okay, what's the right question? And she says, who are you? So I asked, who are you, Cassy? And the card that came up was, there's only like 2 horses in this whole deck. The Horseman, the Herald of Change. So what's changing in your life that's causing all this sadness? The Herald of Change. We'll talk about this for a second. She also said to me that you didn't do anything wrong. And she's talking about a specific situation. So something has changed. I feel like it might actually be physical. You didn't do anything wrong. You've done everything right. Do not blame yourself. Maybe this is what you need to talk about. I don't know. But this was sort of when I asked at the very end, something's changing. Something's changing. And she says, you didn't do anything wrong. Let's talk about it. So I didn't read this card before because I wanted to do the journey with an open mind. When the Horseman appears, he is inviting you to spread the good news. So this is who Cassy is right now. Everyone already knows the bad news. Your task is to point out the beautiful when others see only the ugly. Note the possible, no matter how implausible it may seem. This does not mean becoming giddy or blindly optimistic, but rather reminding yourself that every storm cloud has a silver lining. Become the herald of the positive. Put away the fatalistic attitude, the dire predictions, the dreadful expectations about the world or your life. Declare the arrival of a new and better you. Proclaim that you have risen from the realms of the dead, woken from a long and dreadful slumber, and are back on the world stage. The show is on again. She's going to help you release all that sadness that you're holding for some reason. It may be around the world. It may be around people around you. I feel like it's not even your own. It may be, though. The Horseman cautions you not to allow your exuberance to become hollow or trivial. Be sure that there is substance to the news you spread, and you are willing to live up to the expectations you raise. The world will welcome you with open arms as you share an uplifting message. So, Cassy is showing up as the Horseman, heralding change, asking you to proclaim the good. I let go of the sadness. You're holding somebody else's sadness. I really feel that. I really felt that. And she's here to let you know that you didn't do it. And you really are okay. And she's going to help you by showing up at night and letting you talk, and you can talk together and go on adventures. And the thing about talking in spirit, it's even easier than telepathy, because you don't even wonder, you know. You just hear, and you're like, you know. Let's get a word of advice from an angel card deck. Advice for you around going forward with Cassy, the horseman, the herald of change. Be the herald of the positive, letting go of the grief and the pain. Yeah. A little bit of review and reflection, timeout needed. So that's what she's doing. She's letting you come. She's coming to you at night when it's time out, when it's quiet, when it's just you and your brain. Everybody's asleep. To be able to talk about it, to review it, to let it go. So, you know, I also get the sense you can also call her in to come and talk when you need to. Even if you're just out walking, just start talking to her. Just start talking to her. She's right here with you. And she's going to stay. She's going to stay. So she's okay. She said she had an okay life. The last few years were, but doesn't regret any of it. And you were meant to be together at this time, and that's why you met her early on.